Alexa, play lo-fi beat.
On Amazon Music.
So we were saying we're gonna go on a structure with the US EURUSD again. We checked the news today. The CPI came lower, so there is very high chance EURUSD can keep going high. But if we stay with structures and look at these areas, the interest. Now this is just a confirmation, so it's like 1, 2, 3. So this is the confirmation. Like them rejections sometimes you need to think. Even if you get that rejection, the next 2 days candle might not give you the confirmation, but it's the same idea. As long as you start to see a bullish above that candle, is the confirmation. So this will be the confirmations candle. So it's like 1, 2. Because if you look here, this is lower than this, and we have a confirmation. It's the same logic you use, but you just try to. Yeah. Sometimes you just need to like pay more attention to make it make sense. Something like this. You see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Not this, but this the third one. Break here, and then even when this pullback happen here, we have 1, 2, 3, because we break below here, but price didn't go here. So again, we're bullish. We want this scenario in the opposite direction because that is our entry. See if it's gonna go there again. But like we were saying, so this happened in the opposite direction, confirming to us that there might be a pullback. But in this sense, obviously, usually we look for a pullback more than 2 candle or 3 candle. But when price is really bullish, we can either take this as one leg, and this will be the pullback. If we want, we can take this as a pullback, or we can just still continue and count this whole thing in one move. But you need to pay attention because from here to here, price did break the structure, right? So when we start to pull back, we have how many days candle? Price was just basically doing this on the lower time frame. That is why you have this 1 day time frame like this. But when price is like this, we already know there's a potential this is the higher high. But when we start into range, our structure is telling us that this price is bullish. So we need to pay attention to see where we're gonna form our new potential higher low. In this case, which is something like this. Yeah, that makes sense now. So yeah. LASD again, we're expecting it to do that overall higher time flow. Um, if this was our new higher high, if this is higher low, we're still using the same scenario from last week that price needs to go and take out this high. So we're in this red leg here to see if we can do something like this. We pay attention. Structure is still this and this and this. Now we're starting to see momentum coming back in the market, potentially going to take out the high. So that is still the daily time frame. Now we can see we have confirmation kind of candle showing bullish, and the news as well came out on the 4 hour time frame. We having see the areas we are taking, like the extreme point. Obviously, we was expecting EURUSD to come here again. We trading with structure. When we built this higher high here, at the time this was the higher low. When price pulled back, we didn't break this structure, but we just take the liquidity below here, and price then close back above this. So now we have a higher high. This will be the higher low. When price pull back, we're expecting to do make a higher low. This is not a structure again. This push, this was a relief within the moves, and then it continue going. So this structure was the structure that causes the market to take out this high. But overall, this is the main structure for this whole leg. It's all one leg. So when we make a higher low like this, we're expecting price to go and make a new higher high above here. So in this case, we did have that push, but did the candle close back above here? Nah, it just weekly. That is why on the daily time frame, we say the lower time frame, it was doing something like this. So if you look in the 4 hour time frame, was doing this, and price start to do this for a few days, this, this, and today we're starting to see the breakout. And you'll see how the market start to tell you that it's trying to go as we break that structure. It's the structure that we was looking for price to close above. So this whole time from here to here, all these are just respecting one structure. So these are all higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. Because they're just building inside that structure. Prices just like gain expensive, expensive, and just they coming back to demand and just bouncing, coming to demand, bouncing. So that is why um it's looking like this. So now we're gonna take this. Either you can either take this your higher low or this or even this because they are all within the structure aiming to take the previous high to make a new higher high. So now we're seeing that close. So now we know okay, this is definitely a break of structure because we close 1, 2, 3, 4 hour candle above that area. So with that being said, we now know the intention on EURUSD is still bullish, but price is approaching to this area here. You see, we just come into this short live zone here again, higher time frame. We're not thinking, okay, this is your supply now. When price come here, we should look for a sell. No, higher time frame, the structure on the daily, we're aiming to take out this high. So until that happen, until we take out this high, we cannot expect a pullback. If price is still just start to pull back in here and still trading below this overall, we're gonna expect that it needs to go and take the high. If this low still didn't break, so that is why the structure is so important. It keeps you in the game, man. You know where the market is going. So now we know this area, even though it's there, we can react into it, pull back a bit, or even aggressive. If price still fail to break this, and no matter how you pull back, we're gonna think that's just a pullback. Overall, we need to go with the higher time frame floor to take out that high. Cause in some sense, if you look, this can all be in one leg as well. This whole thing can just be in one leg. So if you start to see some change on this on the lower time frame around this area, something like this breaking structure, price can now then do this and counter trend all the way back down here before we have more. But we don't care about that yet. We're not thinking all the way there. So for that, now we're trading above the previous month high, and we can see this is the most recent area where we have a nice aggressive buy on the 4 hour time frame, and that um, last candle causing that before that buy is this on the 4 hour candle. So if we take that and use the same knowledge on the 1 hour time frame, again apply the same structure knowledge that we're going to do on the daily time frame. I feel like that is what's gonna keep us on the day. If we don't know that structure, we don't know when the next trade is going to be.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that's true. Or you see, understand seeing hair like move like.
And you'll see how many trade we avoid on EURUSD, because we were just still just going with the structure. Higher high, higher highs. We was looking at this high after this pullback. Obviously now we're in here. So from Monday, the Monday we was here. That is when price get here. Was like throughout the week. There is very high chance EURUSD can come all the way up here and take out this high. So, and today you can see price how it's doing that. But if you see how this idea started to build 2 p.m. every day, we just need 2 p.m. and 2 p.m. and obviously today's 2 p.m. was here. We didn't catch on of this trade, which is good. But you see how that idea, when price get here, I was like, now we have this. We retesting the area, which is this red zone of this structure here. Price retesting it, but we'll just get trapped in this again. I was expecting that, okay, if we make a new higher high above the second structure, it's just gonna pull back and buy. The 15-minute time frame, if I go there, you can see I have the lines there already anyway. So throughout from Monday brought on, we're looking for the same trade. We're just not getting it on our trading time. That is literally the reason we need taking the trade. Yeah. Even this retest here on the lower time frame and this massive push on the CPI news. Look where it retested. It didn't happen on the trading time. We don't care. But Monday we was waiting for price to come back somewhere here this week here, but it went all the way to 8. We didn't get there, so we didn't trade. I simply just cancel a USD that day. For example, I had 15 minutes on like this, and then price didn't get there by after 2 p.m. again. This I'm not interested. This is not the retest I was looking for. I was just waiting for price to come back down here, but that didn't happen on Monday. And so Tuesday, we seen this. I have another zone on this lobby here. Try to stay focused on just the last candle. So here, I'm expecting the same thing. Price didn't get there. This green zone, so I cancel it. Instead, we just hold above that 4 hour zone. But this is what we are interested.
That's 15 minutes. That's the time frame you take the trade.
The trade on, yeah. So you see now price didn't get there. We didn't trade. Today we was looking for the same thing. After the news, we have another zone on where here. I think it was somewhere here. Yeah, we have this zone highlight. After price was literally here, was expecting to pull back there, give us a confirmation. It didn't happen. Instead, we just see nothing really end up happening.
Wow. It's today, this is the type of things that you just catch you.
No. LUSD, I'ma just check on here. Now I can see the structure that we was looking to break, which is here. If we drag this here, we can see now we have a higher high there. Price then pull back with two candle again. The swing loss from 1, 2, 3. We having this, so this is now area of interest. This is the higher high. This is the higher high. This is the higher low, potentially higher low. If price come back down here, hold this and give us another confirmation, we'll be aiming for that buy to say, okay, again, we're aiming for USD to trade all the way through this area to take out the high.
I like this.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take this idea now on the 1 hour time frame and use it for 15-minute reasoning tomorrow, and you'll see if price starting to respect here, when the trend is starting to switch, when the sales are now validated, we'll take the trade based on where it's reacting from. But that when that comes, I'll tell you how we do. It's literally the same thing, but you just wait for that structure to change and we know where that move started from after confirming structure is changed and just trade with it. So now for that, again, if we take in our time, we will ask ourselves, because price is now here in a sense, obviously, if we just scanning the market right now, be like, where did this most recent move start from? Logically, it's here. So that is literally the area we're gonna see if price can come back and hopefully stay above it until 2 p.m. You actually tap it, because if you don't do that again, we're not gonna trade. We can miss this whole month. If we don't hit these areas, there's no trade, trust me. We cannot validate that trade against our rules if it's not there. But again, overall, we only have one daily bullish candle that is confirming EURUSD. Now we can just maybe keep pushing higher, because we only have one daily candle, so we don't know how many daily candles are gonna be like that. To be able to catch those, we just need to be patient. And here, even when price just pumped after this rally here, breaking the structure, this is the high. It's not this. This is not the high. This is the high, because we have a nice pullback and then push higher. So this is the high structure, higher low, with potentially making our new high, and the area we was expecting, the psychological number. If you now look at that, we were saying yesterday, if price breaking this, you need to break it, and now look what's happening. So we fully break this. So RUSD, if we catch a trade, we might have very high chance for that to push at least into 15500. Yeah. So this will be something like this. So let's see on the other hand. Yeah, man. If EURUSD comes there, we can catch this continuation. That news just give us the idea where the market potentially can continue going. And that would be about something like this. But yeah, we'll see once we get here. If we get a confirmation, we need to be active and just trade the market. Again, we don't know what time this is gonna happen, so alert will help us. Once you see that, just talk up for me. That is all. It's still there. Hmm? It's second, like it's literally all just making sense now, and we cannot trade without this world. But you see how many days we started. These are the kind of thing I was backtesting and I fucking love it. Oh man. So Monday, yeah, Monday I was, yeah, this is the zone actually. This is the zone actually. Yeah. In some sense, if we trade Mondays, we could apply it, but again, we don't trade Mondays, so I just cross it. How many days we miss? One, Tuesday, same thing. Tuesday, two. That trade would have been valid in this gap here. We didn't trade, so two crosses. Wednesday, three, because price didn't come back down where we were looking for. But just to make myself clear, I can just put this here and just cancel it for now because price didn't get there. I'm just gonna take a 15 minutes out for this. Just looking for a retest here. Before we're testing this shit. So now we have a next potential zone. This is how we build it. Once we get that trade, because we're right on that trend now. So yeah, that is that for RUSD. I like how we build the idea on RUSD. And the trading fucking psychology behind this is actually crazy. We know exactly where this market is and what we're gonna do with it as we move on. This was nice, guys. If you had catch these moves here, you did good. You know what I mean? But again, the time this retested, this was London. If we were trading London and we looking at this 4 hour zone, And we can see price did this and then come back here again. Logically, you can just start to look at this as a double bar here and here. London, 1, 2, 3. It's giving you the same kind of thing. It's literally the same thing. Identify whatever session you are trading. Identify that move that happen just before your trading time. So again, if you are trading London trade session, you're gonna focus maybe from 8 a.m. So because London will open from 6, 7. At that time, the market is not gonna go anywhere. But 8, I seems to find out EURUSD start to push more on that time as well. But yeah, so 8, if you're a London trader, but we don't trade London time. Again, if you identify where moves start from, it just all depends how you see that the opportunity. You can choose the weeks, you can choose the fucking whole candles, and just look for a close above that. In that case, even if you wait for a close above all these candles here, once you start see price closing back above here, closing above that monthly level, it's another confluence to check the trade. But bro, at that time we were sleeping. We don't trade this time. We stick with this tomorrow. Let's see what happens. So we're gonna have more crosses on this week. Yeah. US30, yeah, here. US30, bro, just again, just that thing, bro. I'm good. But yeah, US30 on Tuesday, this that trade we took. Price was retesting this area here, this OB, but for this here we have two area of interest, so we was expecting price to come back down to these weeks here. This, because again, if you can see, it's kind of forming a head and shoulder pattern. So I was looking for like this, I want one more to tap on here, so we have something like head and shoulder. Price them to go high. Well, um, New York came, 2 p.m. started, we were at price is doing whatever the fuck he want. You see how he's missing the area that we're interested and just do bullshit and then weak into that area and just reject it from that. It's crazy. But so for that, we see this area as a potential opportunity area. So we take this other block here because we have this, we then have this, and we have this. And by 2 p.m. price just come back into that zone. We start to see it rejected multiple times. 1, 2, 3 again. You see what I mean? So at this point, I was only looking for a reason for price to give me a confirmation candle like this. So when this happened, I checked in the chart, this candle opened a bit, so it was kind of pushing somewhere here. And then, I took that trade based on that put 90 pips stop loss somewhere below
Well,
here.
this trade makes sense though.
So
See,
we
still
took
that
out,
direction.
but overall price end up just wicking down back to the entry, first entry idea and just reject it from there and continue going higher a bit. But again, that did look what happened. Nothing really much end up happening there. But if you was still in that trade from here, if we were in that trade from yesterday, though, that would have been a nice move all the way up there. But yeah, that today, obviously, we come in the chart. Price was rejected from this 1 hour area of interest, um, which is this area here. So we come here, rejected. We seen this bullish candle, and then after that was that news basically. So after the news, we seen this area of interest, this other block here. We took this other block. That is the other block we took. And when price come back down here, rejecting that, we was on the 5 minute time frame, but the entry was obviously on the 1 minute. So this was the after the news. So price coming back down there. Obviously, we seen our EMA is right there as well. Price is rejecting our area of interest. We just took that trade after 1 minute candle close, which was this 1 minute after this candle was closed. This. we take that trade, and we was somewhere risking, I think it was about 100 pips, I don't know. But this trade overall it ended up turning against us though. We were going for 1 to 3 on this trade, 1 to 3 somewhere here, and market play out, and then we go to the high. Let's see.
So today trade, you
Mhm. Yeah, price. You know, if we had target this high, this is where we take 50% of the trade. This area here. This is where we take 50%, and price just continue doing this rubbish moves. Let me go 5 minutes because this 1 minute would be so much. Yeah, and then we pull back. We're here now. You see, you see how it means. I was literally looking at the stop like tech program. It can literally just reverse right here. And look at this shit. Look at this shit. I just dump all the way here though. That is
allowed me
crazy.
close early, bro.
Yeah,
Still, it wouldn't even gonna take us out, bro.
yeah. So this trade overall, we end up closing it to, we took partial profit here, price then, take us out with a little bit in stop loss again. We ended with 1 to 1 R anyway, so that is something that was cool. So we have 1 to 1 R basically because we're in the same area. See,
Okay.
like the areas we choose, it's actually crazy. So now price is here, trading back below this monthly level. Let's get the idea and see why it's actually building here. So seeing this 1, 2, 3. If tomorrow close bearish, I'm clearly seeing a nice pullback happening on USDT. Yeah,
Because you can see the solid candles already.
yeah. You can see the candle starting to form already.
Yeah.
And when we see it in this direction, what do we expect? Price to pull back
Mm.
and expect to look the same formation in the opposite direction. And we'll have our buy. But for that, we already have some zones that we might, or we expect in USDT can just potentially come back down there. These are monthly level of, yeah, these are the monthly level. This week, mm, 1 day left this week. You see, this week is not really making any decision. If you can 1, 2, 3, and next week we start close with that opposite direction, we can expect a nasty drop on USDT, bro. Yeah. But with the daily structure, we're only gonna stay focused with the structure. What can you see? We're already making a new higher high currently. We was making what? This and this and this. Now we have this. We're expecting something. We do expect something. Price can now come all the way back this down to this daily area of interest and then give us a nice buy on USDT again. But we have some idea here on the 4 hour time frame and so on. Going with the structure. You know, this land, when we are above it, we do expect that price to buy. But when price come back below it, we need to look for all reasons, selling signal and sell from that point to this point. That is the key of this whole thing here. So you just need to plot that trade. Because again, because we know it's monthly that monthly direction. Every year USDT is just doing this, pulling back, doing this. So we need to catch moves like this from areas like this, like it did here. That is why we're expecting an aggressive pullback. This trade here, bro, I think we're still in this trade. From here, when this gap fit, still the same trade as the one that was on the IC market thing. Yeah, but so that is that for USDT 4 hour time frame. We can see we're making a new higher high swing high starting to form, closing below this area. So we can expect a drop on USDT. hmm So 1 hour, go here, let me delete this. We just now to need to stay pay attention to see if price can change structure. Again, we can see whenever we below this area, we just drop it. Whenever we reacting, we just drop it. Whenever we reacting, we just drop it. Whenever we react, we just drop it. So when we break it, we want it to stay above it. But instead, this is looking like a fake out now. So if fake out, come close back below that monthly level. So for the month, if you stay attention, we can see something here. If it's giving us a buying signal for that moment of time we're in, we're gonna sell. If it gives us that selling signal, we're gonna sell. So for that, this last move started from here. That is why I have here. So for the next potential opportunity for US30 to bounce nicely, if we see price take out all this, come all the way here, we might expect a nice bounce. If you give us the reasons around here, see now, price keep breaking structures, we can expect it to drop further. But further, let me just check the structure real quick. This nigga's sleeping.
Oh,
You,
okay.
me
This
too,
was
man.
the last section.
It needs to be, bro. So now just,
You're gonna have to start charging
yeah.
your chart.
So this is now just one structure. US30 just take out this high here. So we just need to pay attention to see which one is the actual structure here. So now we know we have the higher high. This obviously the move started from here. The secondary area that causes the most recent break of this whole structure here is in between this and this. So that is why we need to choose. So, but again, this is the structure actually point. Whenever US30 gets here, we need to be ready for some form of reversal. So we're gonna take this hollow here and see which area is indecisive. Price is now rejecting from here. So we're gonna pay attention to this area. God demand. So at this, just I'ma have to now trick US30 a little bit and just think tomorrow. Let's see. Okay. So now can see price did this, it did this, now it did this. This structure is still it was within this structure because we didn't make this high. So this is the overall structure that we're looking to fail. If this fail, then maybe US30 we can expect some change of direction and start to sell based on this because its price is nicely looking like if it stay below this and start to drop, we'll have more areas to looking for and wait for price to pull back into those areas. Give us the confirmation so we can take that counter trend sales. Yeah. So we will target some areas like this, and that's a lot of pips on US30. This about 560 pips on shit. So,
But I love this. That how you bring it back to this reality makes sense to me. Like,
yeah, that's it. So we just gotta be quick and just plot areas of interest. You know, trading them, you can just take the areas and just have them there for reference and know where the market can potentially come into. That will be that for this. Because this area, we're expecting if price is gonna break this or hold this.
so
So I'm gonna put this to maybe London 8. They just line you put in, bro. The rest just come down to the confirmation. So for this, US30 as far as now here, the idea is to do what and go and make a new high, right? But we cannot, whatever. We just want to see some nice push before this time so we can look for area of pullback, give us confirmation and try again. But yeah, yes, that is just, you know, The same trade is just in the same entry area, but we're not in any trade anymore. So this area, just have it there. It's not area to look for a trade. It's just most recent area that I can see. And on the lower time frame, obviously, like we can see this causing some double top here. So we have this.
I like how you seeing this quickly, bro, because I'm kind of seeing the same shit.
Yeah, let's check, bro. So again, mm, this areas now. I'm just gonna take this out the way, to be honest. I just wanna see a few things on US30 by tomorrow. If I miss the sell, again, I'm not a seller in this market yet. I'm a buyer. I'm a buyer, bro. Be thinking in the opposite direction, because obviously that is what we're waiting for anyways. For price to come back there, you need to aggressively pull back into that area. So don't think, oh, now he's selling. Nah, it's just pulling back. Just pay attention to the structure.
Pay attention to the structure.
We see like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Hmm. Now we'll see what will happen Thursday. This time after anywhere from here. Anything from here to here, we're not really interested. But that is just the update on the chat. Yeah,
This was good.
mhm, it's good. 42 minutes in. But with that being said, let's see what we have by end of the week.